Oh my goodness, it has been a very long time and I missed you guys so much. I'm so happy to be back on YouTube and posting again. Last year, I'm calling it my intermission year. It was just 2022, she really came for me. We're gonna discuss everything today. We're also gonna go over my makeup routine because no surprise, a few new products that I added in because I am addicted to buying makeup. There's so much I need to fill you in on. As you know, I was kind of going through depression and anxiety. I wasn't telling you everything that was going on behind the scenes and I feel like I'm ready to start letting you in on that side of my life. Before we get started, this is the Got2b Glue spiking gel. I really like the little ones, but they didn't have it when I went to Target last time. I'm gonna take the smallest amount on the back of my hand and a little spoolie. I'm just gonna start to brush up the brows. Beginning of 2022, I moved in by myself to this apartment and it was quite an adjustment. I always thought that I was independent and I was gonna do really well living alone. But I will say after a few months, I settled in and I really ended up truly loving living alone. I still love living alone and I'm very glad I gave myself this opportunity. Brows are down, we're gonna go into the eyes. This is NARS Soft Matte Concealer in 2.3 Matte Line. Don't worry, I'll link everything down below. Most of my brushes are the Morphe and Ariel collab. Some are from random Sephora. But I will say, I think when struggling with mental health, sometimes living alone is not the best. At least in my situation. Over this year, I learned that one of my main coping mechanisms that's not healthy is isolation. And when you live alone, that is so easy to do. And when I do a lot of reflection on last year versus the year before when I had roommates, I really was more productive and just motivated to do things. I started going to therapy early this year just for my normal anxiety, taking it under control. When I moved in by myself, it got a little bit worse, so I just needed help with coping with it. I've been dealing with anxiety for the past few years, and some of it stems from just my childhood and a lot of people. I'm gonna set my eyes with just a light powder, get it ready for shadow. Something that only my friends really know is that my dad is an alcoholic and has been my entire life. And genuinely, I didn't really think it had much of an effect on me growing up until I got older and my anxiety came out and I started to realize how I handle certain situations or different triggers that have come up that I've realized, and just all of these little things. Before we keep talking, this is the Makeup by Mario Ethereal. I don't know how to say this. It's his new palette and it's absolutely stunning, gorgeous. It was sold out for a while and I found a Sephora that had it and I am so happy I did because she's really cute. I'm going in with this shade just into my crease, or a little bit higher than my crease. The older I got, I just feel like the more I realized that it did have an effect on me. So I just started going to therapy to work through some of the things. And the funny thing about therapy is while you're in it, you go in for a certain reason and you think, okay, this is what I need to work through. And as you start working through things, it's almost like as you heal things, your mind makes more room for other memories to be processed. I don't even know how to explain it, but it just felt like as I was going through therapy, I was coming to terms with more and more things that I didn't even realize that I needed to come to terms with. And I'm so happy I decided to put myself through therapy at this time. I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush, this dark brown shade right here, and just go into the outer corner here. Almost a year ago, my dad decided to go back to rehab. I believe this is his third time trying to get sober. It kind of shakes up the family. It's not an easy process. Long story short, I feel like the process just really overwhelmed me. My anxiety got a lot worse, basically transformed into depression. And what I've learned is anxiety and depression oftentimes work hand in hand with each other. And I just got to a point where I wasn't my normal self whatsoever. I'm taking the lightest shade and putting this onto my lid to lighten her up a bit. But yeah, my anxiety just started getting a lot worse and I was experiencing anxiety attacks almost every single day. At this time, I was going to therapy every single week and I was just having a really difficult time. My therapist ended up starting the conversation of beginning medication and I was really nervous about it. I spoke about it before on here, especially now that you know, addiction does run in my family. So I've just been wary of medications and just going down that path at all. But she answered all my questions, made me feel really comfortable. After a couple weeks, I ended up speaking to my personal doctor and she prescribed me the medication. I sat on the prescription for a couple more weeks, ended up picking it up. And then decided to go on it, and I'm honestly so grateful I did. They say that it can take up to a month or so to start feeling the effects of it, but I was feeling it almost immediately within the first week. I was pretty out of it, I'm not gonna lie, the first week or so, but I was so happy to be numb, and I know that sounds sad, but I was just so uncomfortable with the state that I was in. I was waking up constantly in a stress and just thinking about it makes me feel like I'm out. We're gonna do a winged eyeliner with the Benefit Roller Liner from right here, and you're just gonna take her out. And I feel like I kind of took a step back from social media altogether in the past year. I just wasn't as consistent with content and pushing out things because I just felt like I genuinely didn't have a personality. One thing I was really struggling with was imposter syndrome. I would look at my Instagram and be like, who is that? How did I do that? Or my old YouTube videos when I had like these crazy routines and was super motivated. Look at that and I would think that that was so impossible. Like being productive seems so hard and impossible inside my brain. I'm taking just a darker brown eyeshadow and I'm gonna lightly smoke it out by just drawing right on that line. I just don't like posting when I'm in those moods because I don't feel authentic or like my true self, and watching it back it's always depressing and just sad to see. I was just stuck in such a self-sabotage loop for the longest time of just not wanting to do anything, coping with my depression in unhealthy ways. And then my procrastination just led to more anxiety. It was just like the biggest self-sabotage loop you could think of, and I just felt stuck in it. And sometimes the weirdest thing with depression is the depression starts to feel comforting after a while, and I just like didn't see the point in trying to be productive. Like I don't even know how to explain it. I was just so not myself, so unmotivated, lacking energy. It was just somewhere I don't want to be again. And I'm gonna lightly blend that out. But with medication and therapy, I was able to slowly pull myself out of it. I'm gonna fill in my brows lightly with the Kosas dark brown pencil. Brows are officially filled in. It's officially time for face. I switched up my routine. I'm officially using this what's this called? Glowy Super Gel in the shade Star Glow as my base. I haven't really been using a primer lately, and I just rub this in everywhere. I love how lightweight this is compared to the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. It just feels way less cakey on your face. And as you can see, definitely gives you a glow. Foundation, I'm going to use the Makeup Forever HD Skin in 1N. I am so pale right now. I don't know what's going on, but I have not been liking to fake tan. It just seems like such a chore, such a hassle, and I just haven't done it. So I am pretty white right now, and yeah, pretty sure this is pretty dark for me. So I'm going to blend it into my neck, and we're just going to ignore the rest. I like to take my finger and first apply it with this. I know brushes give you more full coverage, but I honestly like the look of a beauty blend for foundation. I'm not a huge full coverage girl, so I don't really care. And this just does it so quickly and easily. I love this foundation. Medication and therapy genuinely saved me. I just feel like medication made it so that I was able to start processing my emotions normally again. I wasn't freaking out over everything. I was able to slow down and really think and just understand what was going on rather than just react and freak out the entire time. After about 11 months of being on the medication, I decided to work off of it, and I shouldn't have done that. I was not ready for it. I did the thing where you feel good on your medication, so you stop. I should have kept going. So as you can probably guess, I'm back on my medication. I'm gonna wait it out for when I'm truly ready. I definitely do still have anxiety sometimes, but it's nowhere near what it used to be. One of my favorite contours right now is from Westman Atelier. This is the shade Biscuit. It blends in so beautifully. You're gonna go right above that cheekbone. Go on my forehead, bottom of my nose, a little bit of nose contour, underneath the lip, and then right there. And I like to blend this out with Chanel. You guys, this is my new, this is my new contour brush. I've gone through such phases. So I had this one, and then I had this one, and then there was also this one. I can't keep deciding. So I started with this. This was too big. So then I went to this. This was too small. Then I tried this. Good happy medium. Still too big. And then I found this at CVS. It's by Real Techniques. and it's perfect. She's perfect. Chanel, and I'm just gonna dab, 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 and blending in an upward motion. Making a lot of content is just not easy when you are really depressed, especially when you feel like you're supposed to be motivating people. I just didn't want to. I showed you guys a few videos of myself on those true days of having hard mental health days, but I just didn't want to keep posting videos of myself because it honestly made me sad. And I just thought, let me give myself just some time to relax, slow down, work through this so that I can come back motivated and ready. Boom. Now we got my favorite part, blush. I am gonna use this one actually from Hourglass in the shade Devoted. Just go right up the cheek and onto the temple and on my nose. I'm gonna blend it in with this brush. It's the Pro Blush 93 from Sephora. And I'm just going to lightly bounce it. Anxiety and depression is getting way, way better. I am still in therapy, working through things. I'm back on my medication, and my dad is still sober. This is the longest he's ever been sober, and I am extremely proud of him. He actually gave me a call the other day because he became secretary of his AA meetings, which is a really big deal for him. And I'm gonna be going to a meeting with him pretty soon, I think, to celebrate his 1 year. So I'm really, really proud of him. This year was definitely something hard to work through, and I want to thank you for your patience and allowing me to work through this without feeling really stressed out or bombarded with making content. I know you guys have been DMing me about coming back to YouTube, but you definitely haven't been pressuring me, and I love you so much for that. I'm also going to top this blush with the Tower 28 in Office Hours. It's so cute. Just to make it a little bit more bold. She's so pretty. Now to clean the wings up with some concealer. This is a NARS Radiant Creamy in 2.3. I went back to my roots. I'm really excited for this new year. There's going to be some changes in my life, which I'm really excited for, sad about, happy about, can't believe, and I can't wait for you guys to come along the way. I'm gonna put a little bit right here so that we can clean up our wing. And then I'm gonna take the Kosas concealer in the shade 3.5 and just cut out my contour and blush right there a little bit. Got some blemishes. I'm gonna blend this in with my beauty blender. For example, about changes, I'm pretty sure I'm moving out of this apartment very, very soon. It's a love-hate feeling about it, but I think I'm ready for some growth. I also just want to focus on saving right now because I really want to own property soon. This is the Laura Mercier talc-free setting powder. I like to take a little brush, set lightly under the eyes. Also, then carve this area out again with the powder. Now that we're set, we're gonna add some color. This is the NARS bronzer in the shade Laguna. And this brush that Stella got a hold of, thank you. I'm gonna lightly dab this onto my cheekbone and up onto my temple. Forehead. You definitely don't have to be too careful with bronzer. I'm really excited for this new year and just new beginnings for sure. My motivation is definitely back. I am definitely having so many new ideas with what I want to do this year. This is the Hourglass Ambient Palette. I love this deep blush shade in the corner, and I'm going to go right here. I honestly kind of blend it into my eyeball. Curl the eyelashes. When I'm not wearing makeup for that long, I really like to use this Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara. It's very, very nice. And taking it off is the weirdest experience. It literally comes off in tubes. It freaked me out the first time I washed my face afterwards. I thought my eyelashes were coming out. And no, it's just the mascara literally just slides off your eyelashes.
How's it coming?
Almost done.
Almost done?
Hmm?
Oh, Stella.
Oh, hi, Stella. You can't look at me right now. I'm doing my makeup. Do you want me to do your makeup?
She can stay in here if she wants to. She loves hanging out with me when I do my makeup. She might try to go under the chair though. Yep, she's trying to go under the chair. You want to go under, Mama? There you go. When the mascara dries, you can take the excess off with a spoolie. And then I do another little blendy. Final step we got is lips, and I'm gonna be using Tower 28, my fave right now. This is their one liner, their multi-liner, Fill Me In. I don't know if it's just like a one shade thing, but that's what it's called. I'm gonna line my lips. And then we're gonna go over it with Tower 28 in the shade Pistachio. This is one of my favorite lip glosses right now. It feels so good on your lips. It's not sticky whatsoever, and this shade is just too perfect. Just the prettiest little pink. I did a little Q&A on my Instagram actually asking you guys what YouTube videos you would like to see, and there were so many get ready with me, so I'll keep these coming for you guys. I'm gonna take this big brush again and just blend all of the harsh lines, make sure it's all nice and soft. And final step, we're gonna set it. This is a Professional Super Setter by Benefit. Once it's mainly dry, pat her in. All right, that was the current makeup routine and a little summary of what was going on last year and why I took a little break and why I'm so excited to be back. Absolutely love how the makeup turned out today. I love you guys so much. Subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Mwah.